Hello and welcome to this lecture about social engineering, a term that come up every now and then about social engineering and attacks caused by social engineering. So what's the meaning of social engineering? But before we talk about social engineering, we should have an understanding about computer security, information security, and cybersecurity. So what is the difference between these terminologies? What's the difference between social engineering, cybersecurity, and information security? Now, computer security is the task of securing computer both in physical and digital format. So if you walk into Walmart or Best Buy, you may see and recognize that their equipment are stripped into the desk. There is something that's tied them to the desk, so no one can steal them. That's in a physical format. If you walk into a bank, there is a security measures. If you walk into a government agency, you will find a number of things that, hey, this is a security. That's in hardware format. In the physical format, digital format going to be securing the system itself, securing the data, securing everything that's related in the digital format. What is information security? Is the task for securing information in its digital format. So if I want to talk only about information security, I'm only talking about its digital format. What is the cybersecurity now? Cybersecurity refers to attacks online. So we want to secure information from attacks online, from getting an attacks from an online source. And these are the differences between cybersecurity, information security, as well as computer security. So what is social engineering? Social engineering is the art of manipulating people so they can give up confidential information. Now, if we want to talk about anything related to security, we have three things. We have something called the CIA triad: confidentiality, integrity, and availability of the information. Confidentiality means that only authorized individual can view the information. Integrity, only authorized individuals can change on it. And availability, that only authorized individual can access information whenever they want. Any attacks, any cause that will prevent an authorized individual to access, or that information being released to unauthorized individual, is a violation to the CIA triad. So we hear the word security breach. So security breach, maybe someone had the ability to see, to view the information, or to change on it. Now, one of the methods going to be social engineering. Social engineering is the art of manipulating people. So our target over here is a human going to be the target over here, so we can manipulate them, or the attacker will manipulate them. Social engineering is a manipulation technique that exploits human error to gain private information, access, or valuables into. So in a cybercrime, these human hacking scams tend to lure unsuspecting users into exposing data, spreading malware infections, or giving access to restricted systems. Attacks can happen online, in person, as well as via other interactions. So we may have a user interaction over here, whether online interaction, whether it's by phone or in person. So the idea of here, we are tricking people. So into recent social engineering attacks, just the social engineering attacks, Shark Tank in 2020, which is Shark Tank television judge Barbara Corcoran, was tricked in nearly $400 phishing and social engineering scheme in 2020. A cyber criminal impersonated her assistant and send an email to the bookkeeper requesting a renewal payment related to a real estate investment, he used an email address similar to the legitimate one. The fraud was only discovered after the bookkeeper sent an email to the assistant correct address asking about the transaction. Toyota in 2019, which is Toyota at Toyota Bushco Corporation, which is an auto parts supplier, was the victim of a social engineering and BEC, which is business email compromise. So technically, someone already lost their email address to an attacker. So that's why we call it BEC, which is business email compromise. This attack occurred in 2019. The money loss amount was 37 million. Using attack pursued a financial executive to exchange recipient bank account information in wire transfer. Carabas County 2018, due to social engineering and BEC scam, Carabas County in the United States suffered a loss of 1.7 million in 2018 using a malicious email. Hackers impersonated county suppliers and requested payment to a new bank account. According to the investigation, after the money was transferred, it was diverted to several accounts. And in the email, the scammers presented apparently legitimate documentation. So, what is social engineering attacks? Couple of them. We will go couple of them. There's a lot, but couple of them. Phishing. Phishing is a social engineering technique in which the attacker sends fraudulent emails claiming to be from a repeatable and or trusted source. So you will get an email from someone that's asking you for some activity. So if you look what you look in terms of a phishing email, you may find that phishing email demanding urgent response. You must do it today. You may find also that the phishing email have a threatening language in it. So they will threaten you to, hey, your account will be closed if you don't do so and so on, if you don't click on that link. So they want to force you to do something now and immediately. Maybe it has an attachment coming into different time zones. So technically you're in the United States and maybe it was sent in the middle of the night. Who work in the middle of the night? That's a question that you need to ask yourself about. Maybe the email has an attachment, the day and time, the language you use, all of that will give you an idea about, hey, let me ask myself what's going on with this email. So that's a phishing email or phishing attack. Spear phishing, which is spear phishing is a type of targeted email phishing. In a spear phishing attack, the social engineering will have done their research and set their sights on a practical user. So technically, they already went into your social media. They know you're already in trouble, maybe, and then they will try to come and try to impersonate to someone that you hope that you can talk with, and then they can get their information from you. They try to collect information about you. They already did collect information and they know some information. So they will give you facts over here saying that, hey, we know that you have a problem with so-and-so in your work. I work in so-and-so department. I can help you with that if you, do so-and-so an activity, or let me see what's going on. I will try to help you. And by that, they will try to get your information. Whaling, which is another targeted phishing scam. However, in whaling, rather than targeting an average users, we are targeting over here CEOs and CFOs. Attackers try to target big individuals who don't have time to read emails and or go through what they have emails and or so they will either read it so fast and don't recognize the language, or will ask someone to work for them or their assistants, and by that they will have access to a large account, to an important account where that user have administrative rights. have a lot of money, and by that they can pull from it as much as they can. Another type of a social attacks, or social engineering attacks, going to be tailgating. Tailgating, one of the methods that common in business environment. Tailgating or p-bagging is the act of trailing an authorized staff member into a restricted area. So you are a staff member, you are authorized to access so and so on Zoom, where you need to have your ID and a PIN number. But maybe that person tried to come behind you, faking that they are authorized as well, or they are a technical ID, or technical individuals, or IT support, whatever, and they want to sneak in through your account. So technically you already put your PIN and they try to go behind you. This is tailgating. Impersonate is one of several social engineering tools used to gain access to a system or a network in order to commit a fraud, industrial espionage or identity theft. Impersonating differs from other forms of social engineering because it occurs in person rather than over the phone or via an email. So they will try to fake that they may be walking into a restricted area as a police officer, as an individual, as an attorney, whatever you want to call it. Pretexting, which is the pretext uses the captive identity as the pretext for establishing trust. So technically you will have someone that you talk with as what they are, and they start a trust between you in order to walk into a business or walk into a restricted area, such as you talk with someone and saying, hey, I work in so-and-so department, they moved me here today just to do this and go back. Where's your ID? Where's your order? Let me see. They don't have, and that's a method of accessing systems. Shoulder surfing and dumpster diving happening every single day. We know, or without us knowing, you're in a business, you're in an area, and you're putting the PIN number for your phone, a PIN number for your ATM, and someone can see your PIN number. Right this moment, they are easily able to access your account because you already gave them the PIN number, the password. Yeah, all of us like to have a short password, easy to remember. However, these type of passwords make us vulnerable for a lot of problems. Dumpster diving is a method, actually. People go after you whenever you throw your trash, maybe you throw your trash and a letter that has your last four of your social, or information about your bank account, or information about other things. I can collect this information. Maybe I will start manipulating you. I will start asking you for favors because I know a lot of information about you now. Dumpster diving is a method. I can go to Google and try to find all the information about you. All of these methods used in dumpster diving and also known as Google docking. The 5 phases of attack, what I need to do in order to attack, or what the attacker takes or do in terms of attacks. Phase 1 going to be the renaissance or footprinting. Technically, the attacker tries to collect as much as information about their target. They need to know everything about it. They need to know as much as they can to attack. That's what they do. They will collect. They need to know more information, and now they will start exploiting these vulnerabilities, which is in phase 2. In phase 2, going to scan the system for vulnerabilities. So I will collect my information. I know your IP address. Let me go ahead and scan that IP address. Scanning, which is the attacker tries to identify potential vulnerabilities by using scanning techniques. Count. You have Wireshark, which is free tool. Wireshark and Narcissus, as well as Nmap. All of these going to help you to scan for port opens, what the port open and what's being used to. Third phase of an attack going to be gaining access. Now I collected information, I've already scanned the system, I'm ready to gain access. I will start exploiting my vulnerabilities. Now I will start sending package, I will start sending files, I will start sending information or trying to get access into the restricted area or the system. The fourth phase is going to maintain that access. I had an opportunity to gain access, I will try to maintain that access. The attacker exploited a vulnerability and continues to attack other systems. That's also one of the things. If I know that someone using same system, now they have the same exact vulnerability, let me go ahead and attack it. That's what happened when a lot of people get problem with ransomware that attacked Windows. A lot of business had their system to be encrypted because all of them had the same problem. They did not update when Windows asked them to, and the attacker found out and they start targeting them. And system after system start falling. Final phase of the phases of attack going to be covering tracks. After I'm done with my attack, I'm leading, I need to cover myself. I need to remove all tracks, remove all logs, all information. Now, the importance of information is back to the system. As we mentioned, the importance of information, of the confidentiality, integrity, and so on. I want to change information. I don't want to know someone that I've accessed their system. I had an opportunity to view the system. I don't want them to know. So I'm going to cover. Plus, I want to cover all my tracks so no one can track me back. And that's the final phase of the attack. Now, the best way to protect or to defend the system going to be training. I need to train my users to ensure their awareness to the best of their ability. They need to ask anything that's weird. They need to ensure they are not putting themselves and my business into a problem. So I need to ensure their training and awareness are the best, and first line of defense for both users and administrators is going to be training. Now, we will discuss about, I'll bring it up. I'm going to run an application right this moment. This application is a visual, or what we call it, virtual box, which is a virtual machine that helps with running applications and operating system. So I'm going to run Cali for our usage over here. There's a lot of reasons why I want to run Cali. Cali comes preloaded with all tools that attackers use and need in their attack. It's a virtual machine on my computer, so it's not running all the time. I use it for educational purposes. As you can see right this moment, Cali has a number of applications. I will let you see it. So you can come here and say information gathering, vulnerability analysis, web application analysis, database assessment. All of these sections, social engineering tools, all of these tools are preloaded with Cali. That's why I use it for security classes. However, because we're starting today with Cali, the first time that we are interacting with Cali, we need to know how to work with it. Now, what you can see right this moment going to be a terminal. A terminal works by command. So you will put a command and terminal responds to. So if I ask myself, what is today's date? I can type only date and it will give me the date. If I ask where I'm at right this moment, I don't know my location. So I will say print working directory and I will have my location. Let me say I want to go to the home directory. So I will say change directory C, home, and now I'm at home. I will say print working directory, and guess what? I'm at home. If I have directories or files, I will say list things, and I will have only one user over here. Let me go back into Cali. Why? Yeah, that's one. Print working directory. Yeah, Cali, list items, and I have my folders. Now I can say, hey, list items long, I think tall. It will give you all information about them, whether information or anything that I want to know, their permission and so on for each folder. Now, the first thing that we want to do, if I want to know if the hosts are running, now a host going to be a server, whatever. If I want to know the location that I want to attack, or I want to collect information about, I will see if this is active. So before anything else, I'm going to say, hey, ping for me google.com, just to see if I am able to see if Google Alive as the website working. And you can see that I'm getting packets back that indicating Google responding to my request. It will not stop until I end this request by Control-C to end my request. Now, maybe I want to trace my packets to see how many hosts, how many routers hops in the way that I reach to Google. So I'll say trace routes. Now, trace route is in Linux, you need to type it all. Trace T in Windows. So trace route is in total. Now, a few minutes ago, I did test this and it was running on a different IP address. So technically, I'm going to type the new IP address that's showing up for this request. And you can see that I've pinged to my own router. I will not see because I'm blocking out my Kali Linux. Now, other information I can collect. In Windows, we use ipconfig to know my own IP address. So ipconfig in Windows, like config in Windows. However, in Linux, we say ifconfig is a command that we can use and give us our own router information or IP information. There are number of commands I use that I can collect information. The TCP dump, for example, will run on my network to collect all TCP commands running on my network right this moment. It's huge. A lot of information will show up. That's why most of us, what we do, we save this information into file to analyze these. I want that. The information. Oh, I don't have access to it. Yeah, operation not permitted. Good. However, all of these information, we can use it to collect a number of things about the host, the network that I want to scan, and I can use Kali Linux easily. You can type exit just to get out of this session, and you can turn it off, and you can use. Now, you can go to Kali website, Kali, and you can download their system, their operating system, and you can easily use Kali on your machine. It has a requirement, however, system requirement, but you can use Kali easily. Thank you very much and see you soon.